Welcome, everybody. It is the Paul Rodriguez Show. It is the it is not Paul. It is the 3rd of August, 2021. Coming out of Studio 44. Producer James in the building. How are you feeling, sir?
Good.
Yeah?
Feeling good.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
You ready? How was your day off today? What'd you get to do? I heard you were doing something.
I was on Twitch.
You're on Twitch?
Playing video games.
So you do a little streaming.
Mm-hmm.
You got Dark Side tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
You got full plate, huh?
Yeah.
And then you go back to that 9 to 5, huh?
Yep.
Well, for you, it's more like 6 to 8.
6 to 8, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Bless your heart. Bless your heart. A little bit of news coming out today. There was a lot of NBA deals got done over the week or over the past 2 days. We'll probably maybe mention that at the end of the show. But Dallas Cowboys playing the Steelers Thursday. That's going to be a big to do. The Cowboys actually favored. Dak Prescott was. It was decided that he will not play. We'll talk a little bit more in depth about that as we get into the show. We're going to talk a little bit more of name, image, and likeness about what we left off yesterday in regards to Quin Ewers, the former number 1 overall prospect coming out of Texas. Since he has now declared that he will be attending the Ohio State University, they've gone ahead and taken him off of all the recruiting lists and as well as his ranking, since he's not going to be competing in high school anymore. We'll definitely get into that in the first block. But producer James, man, anything new going on that you wanted to touch on before we get to it? I heard Dana White was on Pat McAfee's show today talking about a lob question from AJ Hawk. You think he's going to be an All Hall of Famer, AJ? He got a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
He was number 5 overall pick.
I always say, if you got to think about it, well then,
ooh, ouch. You ain't got no respect for AJ.
Hey, man, I try to be honest. Yeah, I like AJ Hawk. I have an AJ Hawk jersey. I have 2 Green Bay Packers jerseys. One's an AJ Hawk, the other one's Aaron Rodgers.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Why did you buy the AJ Hawk?
He was my favorite player when he was on there.
Okay, but you don't think he's Hall of Fame worthy?
Well,
do you think Aaron Rodgers is Hall of Fame worthy?
Come on, bro.
I'm asking the question.
Yeah.
They have the same amount of Super Bowls. They didn't play as long.
Is that all you judge?
That's a big part of it. For me, that's like a big part.
Is Dan Marino Hall of Fame quarterback?
He already is in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. There's a lot of quarterbacks who are already in the Hall of Fame, so it's taken off the table. Yeah. But that's like saying, do I think Eli Manning is a Hall of Fame quarterback? He is a Hall of Fame quarterback because he got 2 rings, and he took both of them from Tom Brady, the GOAT. So that's the argument's over after that one. But based off of his career, I'd probably say no, but it's too late for that one. But getting back into it, AJ Hawk was lobbing up a question to Dana White talking about AJ wanted to get Dana White's perspective on this upcoming fight. And I think Dana's probably doing a lot of press right now, since this weekend is UFC 265 with Derek Lewis fighting Cyril Gane. And so on the show, he's there, and the hot fight is right now Logan Paul and Tyron Woodley coming up. But there's another fight in September.
Jake Paul.
Is it? No, I think it's Logan.
Jake Paul.
Are you sure?
Yeah, positive. 100%.
Jake Paul is fighting Tyron Woodley.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna check that during the break.
All right. You want to check it right now?
You can check it right now while I build this thing, but I want you to be listening to the question, because I want to get what you have to say about this question that AJ lobbed up to Dana White. And he said, Dana, what is your thoughts on this fight coming up in September between Oscar De La Hoya and Vitor Belfort? And pretty quick out of Dana's mouth, Dana doesn't really care for Oscar too much. He says, I hope Vitor, in so many words, I hope he knocks that crackhead out. And so when he drops the line, it's hilarious. Although I don't think Dana was prepared for that question, being Vitor and being for okay, so yeah, producer James pulled it up. It is Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. I don't know why Jake wants to fight all the MMA guys. I guess because he thinks they're lobs. I
think he's trying to build his, what do you call it? Resume, I guess. Reputation. But at the same time, he's picking them. Like he's picking his fighters. Like
he's selective.
Yeah. So the last one, God, what was his name? Ben Askren.
Yeah.
Not the best puncher you know, everyone knows he's a good wrestler, but I mean, he's in a boxing match, you know, and then of course.
Let's jump back into that after we get to the Vitor Belfort De La Hoya thing. What did we got to talk a little bit about it when this first dropped like a month ago. I think we really got into it a little bit, but where do you think that's a fight that's on Dana's radar? Do you think he's like under the surface really following that because he wants to see how Vitor is going to like perform against De La Hoya? And De La Hoya is, when he was at his best, he was world class. I mean, there was nobody in the world who could beat him until he fought Mayweather.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I think, are we going to test for steroids in this thing? I mean, it's an exhibition, right? So I don't know what testing's going on. Is Vitor going to be roided out? Is De La Hoya going to be coked up? I mean, I don't know. So if they just go in with all the chemicals behind them, what's the outcome in this fight for De La Hoya and Belfort? And it's going to be boxing. We know it's already going to be boxing, but do you think that the edge definitely goes to De La Hoya, even though he's pushing 50?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, he knows how to move in there.
He's a gold medal Olympian as well.
Yeah. But I mean, as far as Vitor, you know,
but he can take a punch, right?
Yeah, and he can knock you out too. Especially roided Vitor.
Yeah, and Vitor's going to be bigger. Vitor's like 6. But see, that's the thing. What's the weight? That's what I do not know.
TRT Vitor.
Are they going to be coming in at like 170, 180? That's the curious. Because it is an exhibition, does anybody really give a shit?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's really going to care. But I mean, I don't know, man. I'd like to see Oscar win just to kind of get him back into the I don't know, I guess good graces with the fight community. Because I think everybody was really pissed off at him after he literally sank his company hedging it on a bet with Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell in that big fight. But
it says here that, and when was this written? It says here Oscar De La Hoya versus Vitor changed from exhibition to official fight.
No,
in September, and this was
in what state?
July 21st.
In Vegas,
Staples Center, Los Angeles.
Okay, it's a California commission. Okay.
8 2-minute rounds at 180 pounds.
So they are going to fight at 180.
Yeah. De La Hoya last fought in December 2008. Lost to Manny Pacquiao.
So you said 8 2-minute rounds?
Yeah. The fight will be 8 2-minute rounds at 180 pounds.
Somebody's getting knocked out. If they're going to go 8 rounds, I know there's only 2 minutes, but I mean, they can be pretty. I got a feeling they can be pretty active in 2 minutes. 2 minutes, take a 30. Is it a minute break? In between rounds, is it 1 minute?
I think so. It's either that or I think it might be 30 seconds.
Even if it's 30 seconds, if these guys have half the cardio they had when they were in their prime, they should be fun. Is that exciting? Does that make it more exciting and more interesting that this has been transitioned from an exhibition to a legitimate fight?
Yeah,
why?
Because with these exhibitions, I mean, sometimes you can, you know, it's like a gentleman's agreement, or what do you call it? Is that what you call it?
Gentleman's bet?
Yeah. Or it's kind of just like, you know, let's just go in, put on a little fight. Let's not knock each other out.
Another aspect of this is, since this does go from an exhibition to a commissioned fight, now people can bet on this fight. Because before, you could bet on you'd have to like dig. And I think that's why this was kind of probably transitioned this way, is the books, especially in Vegas, and now that in most states, sports book gambling is available, so they would be able to probably make a lot of money. And I'm pretty sure all of those sports books like FanDuel and DraftKings and all the sports books in Vegas, especially California as well, they were definitely going to probably have that urge to like, look, what is it going to take? What are we going to, and who's the promotion? That's the other thing. Is it Showtime? Is it HBO? Do we know?
Let me check it out.
Because if whatever the promotion is that's putting on this fight, it's not going to be Triller, is it? 'Cause if it is, I'm not watching that garbage.
Can't be Triller.
Why not?
I don't know, man. Because like you said, I wouldn't watch it.
I mean, I'm not watching that. And if it's on a Sunday as well, maybe that's why it got moved, so that it doesn't have to be on, you know, peculiar day of the week. It can be something, you know, a little bit more traditional, and we can watch it on a Friday or Saturday, which would make a whole lot more sense. and putting these Triller fights on the weekend. That was just bogus. So when we find whatever the I guess services that's going to be providing the fight, I think that would probably be a more of an understanding on why this was probably put into a regular fight than a exhibition. What'd you find?
It says right here, it said Triller announced news Wednesday, and this is
this like last Wednesday.
No. This article was written on the 21st
of July.
Yeah. So
okay.
Triller announced the news Wednesday, noting the bout will be a professional boxing match and not an exhibition. The fight will unfold during a maximum of 8 rounds at 2 minutes. That's what But yeah, it looks like it is going to be on Triller.
No. And this is per the Los Angeles Times.
Yeah. They're the ones that they reported the news that it had been changed from an exhibition to a real fight.
So the way you read that is that they're the ones announcing that information.
Yeah.
Great. We're going to have to dig a little bit more into that as we get to it. But I guess Oscar De La Hoya and Vitor Belfort are going to go ahead and get after it in September, which I don't know. Good luck to them. If this fight is more than $50, they can just, what are you on?
There you go right there. It's on Triller Fight Club, Oscar De La Hoya versus Vitor, official pay-per-view live stream.
What are they charging?
$50.
Oh, man, kiss my
Hey, you said more than 50.
Well, yeah, after taxes, it is going to be more than 50. Notice how I slid that in there. I mean, I can do a little loophole if I want to. I just don't like Triller. I don't like the way they do business. It's just, I don't know. It's almost, to me, it's like just horse shit. Just literally horse shit. I don't know. Does that turn you off? It turns me off.
Yeah.
Like instantly, I'm like, well, okay, well, I guess whatever college football is on set on that day. What day was it?
September 11th.
Is that a Saturday? I think it is a Saturday.
Yeah,
because that's 2 days after the NFL kickoff.
Yeah, September 11th.
Yeah, I will not be watching
Triller.
that fight.
Triller Fight Club.
Man, who knows? I might. I don't know. I said I was going to watch that piece. What was it? The Premier Championship Boxing with Tito Ortiz, not Tito Ortiz, Paul, with Ruiz and Ariola.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't going to say it the other way because I don't want you giggling like a 15-year-old over there.
Ariola.
Anyway.
Hey, first rule about Triller Fight Club.
Yeah.
You don't buy a Triller Fight Club.
You don't buy Triller. Yeah, 100%. You don't buy a Triller Fight Club. Let's transition real quick into name, image, likeness. For those who don't know, I went into my little soapbox yesterday. Quin Ewers is foregoing his senior season at South Lake Carroll. Last year, he led the South Lake Carroll Dragons to the state championship title game where they lost to the Westlake Chaparrals. And now we had a lot of things occur over this time frame from the end of the football season in December, the high school season in December to now, where we've had a lot of the Supreme Court has handed down a decision, which is nowhere near what name, image, and likeness is. It's in that arena, but it is not directly associated with name, image, likeness. They left it up to the states. One of the states out of the 6. I believe right now there's 7. So 7 states, Texas being one of those 7s. On July 1st, 2021, you were allowed to make money off of your name, image, and likeness if you were a collegiate student athlete. Well, this is going to be the first direct impact to maybe something that's untraditional. It's definitely a change. You have a senior who is 1 credit short, which Quin Ewers will earn before the start of the football season in August, or maybe he already did it. But I did read that he was 1 credit short, and I believe he was getting that done now, where he can enroll. He probably has all the credits to enroll at Ohio State University. Probably won't play, but probably will be competing, probably running like the scout team for the Buckeyes. But he has reportedly $1 million offer on the table to attend Ohio State now, and he chose to do that. And I don't think this is something bad. I know a lot of people may not understand or may not like it, but this isn't your decision. Quin Ewers is 18 years old. Quin Ewers made this decision with his family's future in mind. And I believe that for him, it was the best thing to do at this time. Did he leave all of his football players behind? Yeah, he did in high school. Yes. Did he leave his coaches behind? Yes, he did. Does it appear to be selfish? Maybe. But it would be selfish for him not to make the best decision for him and his family. With that being said, this is going to be a domino effect, I believe, that's going to occur in states that NIL is available. You're going to have a lot more student athletes who are going to potentially forego their senior season if they come from maybe lower economical status than Quin Ewers. If there's an opportunity for young people to go make a lot of money while getting their collegiate education, then by God, go do it if that's what you want to do. But at the same time, I think that those young people need to be educated. There needs to be someone there who's a parent or a guardian that can inform them of how much financial education is going to be needed to make these choices. And if they're not getting exposed to that, that's going to be a really difficult situation for them. And I think that's why a lot of people may have a feeling that this isn't a good thing because they may not have enough real world experience. And I think that's a valid argument. But at the same time, if those parents are there and those guardians are there to help them, maybe they can lean on their coaches. Maybe they can lean on the university to provide some of that financial education. Do I think that the university should provide it? Yeah. Will they? That's another question. But at the same time, this is where we are in the world. There's a lot more opportunities for individuals. There's a lot of companies who want to do business with these high-profile athletes, and I think it's overall a good, positive things, but there's going to be negatives along the way. Right now, it's the wild, wild west. It is a free-for-all. And to my knowledge, there's only a handful of elite players who are getting million-dollar deals, and that's where we are right now. We're not multi yet. We're in millions. We did have Hersey Miller, Master P's son, who did get a $2 million deal while he was at Tennessee State. We have reportedly that the incoming quarterback for Alabama is nearing a $1 million deal with donors, or not with donors, but with businesses in and around Alabama. And now we're hearing that a 5-star number 1 overall recruit who was foregoing their senior season because of a $1 million deal potentially or reportedly at Ohio State. There's going to be more of this coming out. There's going to be more of this going on. I don't know if, especially if you're on a championship caliber team, you may not have people leaving as Quin is doing. But for Quin, like I said, he's 18. He's talked about it. I think he made a decision that's in the best interest for his family. And so you got to respect it at this time. I know I've seen Twitter. I've seen how he's been eviscerated out there, and I don't see a lot of positive things for him, but that's the world we live in also. It's like when you do something that's out of the norm, people are going to go after you and try to pull out every bad thing you've ever done, ever said, because they don't want to see you succeed more than maybe they did. And I think that's a little bit of jealousy coming out. I think that's the ego on the other person who is maybe saying those statements. And I understand we don't have a lot of case studies, if you want to use that word or term, to kind of measure this. But at the same time, like I said yesterday, I think this is the best. I think Quin was the best person for this to happen to because of where he goes to school, because of where he is going to be going playing college ball, because of what he's accomplished in high school, because of what he's accomplished individually through camps and through all the recruiting services. So for him, I think it's a great case study because people are going to be, every other person is going to compare this to Quin. And for him to be somewhat of a martyr, to be the first and to be eviscerated on Twitter and in a public forum, I think it's a good thing because it's going to shield other student athletes who are coming up and who may have do the same thing for the betterment of their family. And so to close it all up for Quin, hats off, salute you for doing this to be the first. It's difficult. Keep your family close, stay strong, keep your nose clean, because if you get in any kind of trouble, everybody's going to point back. It's the money. It's the money. The money ruined him. And so you have to just stay out of trouble. Just stay where you are. Go to work. Go to class. Take care of your business, and everything will be fine. But it's just as soon as people get into trouble, it's like, see, I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. And guys like me, we're gonna have to bite the bullet. And it's like, for what we look at, what we can see, I think it's a good thing for Quin. I'm not saying it's a good thing for everybody, because not everybody's gonna have the support system maybe Quin has. But if you do, and we also don't know the maturity of the level of Quin, we don't know. But what I do know is that Quin accomplished a lot in high school. He's going to probably accomplish a lot in college, and he's probably going to accomplish a lot in the NFL. And at this time, he decided to take a check over his senior season. And I'm not saying I could. If it was me, I'd probably take the check too, because I don't know what it's like to have $1 million, and I don't think Quin does either. And so he's saying this can change my family's future forever. It can change my children's future forever. It can change my children's children. And I think that's maybe what he's looking at, is like, sure, you're 18, you're young and you're dumb and you don't have to manage money. We don't know that. We don't know what his support team looks like. So I think we have to just give him the betterment of, or the benefit of the doubt, and let him live his life and just get to enjoy the journey with him and watch how he progresses. But like I said, man, if he gets into trouble, it's going to be a rough road. What do you think about this? Do you think it's a good thing, or do you think it's just?
Yeah, for sure.
Why do you think it's a good thing?
I feel like you should be able to do what you want. If you want to go, make some
but
money.
that's a reckless statement. There's got to be like a little bit of, like, you can't just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But what you mean, I think what you're trying to say is, you can do what you want after you've accomplished the minimum requirements.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once you jump that hurdle, hey man, you're done with they've asked. Now go do what you want.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope at times.
Yeah.
Because he's still gonna have things that he needs to take care of at Ohio State, and as soon as this season's over, nobody's gonna talk about it anymore. As soon as he's the starter, if they win, nobody's gonna say a word. Yeah. It's gonna be a non-story. But because it's such a hot button issue right now, everybody's losing their minds. So, best of luck to Quin, though. Best of luck to him and his family, and for future student athletes who want to make that jump. Because, look, we've been letting all these universities make billions of dollars, and these ESPNs, Foxes, and NBCs, and all these other different acronyms that these channels have. They've been making billions of dollars off of advertisers, and these football players these soccer players, baseball players, softball players, volleyball players, they've been getting nothing since this has all been going on for decades. I think it's about time for the student athlete to get theirs. It just makes a whole lot of sense.
For sure.
But I think we do need some oversight. I think we need some federal regulation. I'm not that guy to say what the rules are, but I think that I have a feeling with a lot of teams coming to the SEC, each league will probably have some kind of marbled rules with the state entities, with the state governments, so that there's a standardization of what the limit is that you can receive, or maybe what you can, who you can and who you cannot do business with. Because if you're 18 years old and Budweiser, now this is just an example, this isn't real, Budweiser or Marlboro or a vitamin company wants to come do business with you, it's going to be a bad optic. It's going to be a bad look, because you're not, like, if you're in Texas, you got to be 21 to buy cigarettes. So if you go do a tobacco brand deal and you're 19, it's a bad look for you and the university.
I think that's bad. I think it looks bad on any athlete, right? If you're an athlete, you probably shouldn't be smoking.
Okay, well, if that's true, if a vitamin company wants to come to you, and if I'm talking about vitamins, I'm talking about marijuana. If they come to you and in that state it's legal, okay, it's a bad look on the university. But right now there are no rules. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
So depending on what state you're in, if that state has NIL on the books, you know, do you want to go do a deal with a nightclub where everybody's getting like, you know, plastered? But do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's got to be some kind of like limit. There's got to be a limit. I'm not saying you can only make $10,000 or else this is just bullshit. But what I am saying is that there's got to be like there's got to be a point of no return where it's like you can't do business with them. I know they want to do business with you, but we can't just do that. That's kind of where I'm at with it. And I think it needs to come to the league, and I think it needs to come to the legislatures of each state that those leagues participate in. And so if we talk about the SEC, we're talking about the entire Southwest and the state of Texas. You got, and bring in Missouri too, and those Appalachian states. So you just got to think about that. All right, let's get into a break. 31 minutes after the hour. Before we do that, producer James, a lot of people, I talked to a couple guys today, buddies in my circle. They didn't know I had a show. They know I had a podcast. So for the people who don't know, let's inform them. I had to let them know about the Spotify, let them know about YouTube.
Yeah.
How do we get to those places?
Yeah, so what you're going to do is you're going to go on your iOS or your Android device. You're going to open up your little app store. You're going to type in Spotify on there. Once that's all downloaded, you're going to type in the Paul Rodriguez Show. You'll see the little logo, hit the follow, and yeah, man, turn on notifications so you know when it's uploaded. And if you're not subscribed already on YouTube, yeah, you can do that also. Hit that subscribe button.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the Paul Rodriguez Show coming out of Studio 44. It is Hall of Fame week, 2 days before the Hall of Fame game featuring the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers, as well as a host of inductees into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. I'm looking forward to the game. Pretty much, I'm looking for a little bit more forward to the inductees. I really want to see what Calvin Johnson has to say. Alan Faneca, a very good offensive lineman, played with the Steelers and the Jets. And then the biggest speech I think everybody's going to look forward to is Peyton Manning. That's going to be interesting. That guy's a character, tons of personality. I want to see who he thinks. And then there's also going to be a lot of who's who built the NFL, as Paul Tagliabue, the former NFL commissioner, I want to say he was the second commissioner of the NFL. So there's going to be a lot of people there just to be seeing those inductions. But the Hall of Fame game between the Cowboys and the Steelers, I don't know if Big Ben's going to play. It's already been reported that Dak is not going to due to the strain in his shoulder. How he did it, I don't know. That's going to be questionable. Also, what came out today was the trailer for Hard Knocks featuring the Cowboys.
Really?
Dude, what a dud. Snooze fest.
Really?
I was talking to my buddies about this because they kind of dropped it in our group chat for my big fantasy weekend. And as soon as it dropped, I watched it, clicked the link, and I just put 3 snooze emojis. I was like, dude, this thing is... I literally put back in that comment, I was like, look, dude, it was like the intern at HBO was told... Put 7 clips together, and on the last clip, make it like a flutter effect, and then lay over all 7 clips the theme to Hard Knocks. The dun dun dun, and I was just like, this was shit. It was literally I was like, I know y'all probably used a $30,000 computer. I know y'all probably had $20,000-$30,000 cameras to put all this together. But why did you give all that content to the intern and let him put out this crappy trailer? It was no hype. A lot of the footage was from the practice before they started getting into pads. And I was just like, where are the hits? Where's the personality? Where are people talking? Where are exchanges? And it's are you really safeguarding all of that content because you don't want people to watch it? And it's you would think that would be the opposite. You think you give out this high quality trailer content wise to get people to go pay for HBO. That's just kind of the way I thought about it. But maybe you'll watch it later and just think dude, we've put together stuff, right? You put together a commercial, an ad for Recon Athlete. And granted, we were using information we had to cultivate. Yeah. But at the same time, you were able to make it digestible and fun and energetic. The music was right. The music here was just flat. Some of the video was just okay. And the only reason stood out at the end was because they had Dak throwing a pass, and I even made the comment. I'm like, this is the pass that Dak tore his shoulder on or strained his shoulder on. They put this flutter effect. And I'm like, oh, it's the Dallas Cowboys. But then my buddies, DC4L Zombies, in that comment, they're like, they could have just put a blue star with a blue background, and I would have loved it. And I'm just like, this is it. These are those Cowboy fans that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Was there? And so there was this GIF I found on in the library, and it's a rapper, but they superimposed Jerry Jones's face on it, and it has a little star, and he's just rubbing his hands. I'm like, look, this is Jerry watching all of your comments right now about the Cowboys, which I thought was just nuts.
That Birdman.
Hey man, is that what it is? Yeah. It's like a. He's
by the window.
It's a grayscale. There's it's black and white.
I'm pretty sure they changed it.
Maybe. All I know is that
he's like that.
Yeah, and I'm just like, this is why people don't like Cowboys fans. But then Cowboys fans who are rational, this is what gets them boggles their mind. Why do you have to act like this? Yeah. It's just a tough deal. But I'm looking forward to Zeke. They said Zeke is in phenomenal shape. I don't know what that means. The offensive line, I hope they only play a series and then get them out. We'll probably see the second and third string quarterbacks for the Cowboys. I think that's going to be Garrett Gilbert, former Lake Travis alum. And I don't know who the third string is. Maybe that third string is Garrett Gilbert. I'd have to look it up. I don't know.
It's not that DiNucci or
bro. That dude was garbage.
Yeah,
that dude was absolute garbage.
He's not one.
Hell no, dude. He's via con Dios, bro. Yeah, he was just not these little side dude. You're not Patrick Mahomes, okay? Like these sidearm things you're doing, not happening. Not in this league. Not for you. I don't care if you played at James Madison. Wasn't a fun thing to do.
What do you think about Carson Wentz getting hurt?
Carson Wentz is a curse.
Requiring surgery.
Carson Wentz is a curse. Did you hear what happened today?
No.
Quinton Nelson, the all-pro guard at a Notre Dame, has the same injury as Carson Wentz. Is going to be out the same amount of time. Today, Carson Wentz gets his surgery for his hurt foot. So Quinton Nelson has the same injury. Fortunately, the Colts have the right doctor to perform the surgery. He's going to have to just do it run it back again and do it on Quinton Nelson. So now you have your quarterback you paid a high price for, and then you have Quinton Nelson on top of it. And they're talking. And have you seen Nick Foles?
No.
Cut a promo up. He cut a promo on why he loves Frank Wright and Carson Wentz and their relationships. Meanwhile, he's a Chicago Bear, and he's the third string. And so people are talking about well, what if they just bring Nick Foles over from Chicago, and Nick Foles leads them to the Super Bowl? It's like you got this. It's just a curse, bro. It's just horrible. It's absolute nonsense. And then Frank Wright, the head coach for the Colts, he was on McAfee's show today, and he's just like, I love my relationship with Nick Foles. Nick Foles is a stand-up guy. Just talking up Foles. He's like, but Nick is a Chicago Bear, and I want to let y'all know we have not had any communication. And I was like, bullshit. The hell you haven't. You're telling me you're not exchanging information through Bible study? Give me a break, bro. Give me a break. Hell yeah, y'all have. Your third string. It's going to be, in Chicago, it's going to be Justin Fields, Andy Dalton, Nick Foles. Yeah, y'all need to ship Foles to Indianapolis. Yeah. But I think people are optimistic for Wentz because they're talking about maybe he can be back by week 1 or maybe week 3 in that time frame. But it could be 12 weeks, and that would mean he wouldn't come back until October. So it's it could be 5, it could be 12. Same thing for Quinton Nelson. Could be 5, could be 12. And that team is built to go make a Super Bowl run now. Even with Nelson out, if Wentz is there, they should be able to make a run at a Super Bowl without a doubt. The only competition in that division is the Titans. So it's just man, y'all got an opportunity here. 17-game season. 7 teams from the AFC are getting in. You got a shot. But Carson Wentz is going to screw y'all.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. If Carson Wentz doesn't take 75% of the snaps, the Philadelphia Eagles get hosed on their first-round pick. That's first round turns into a second round. So if he's out the full 12 weeks, they don't get their first-round pick. So he screws over the Colts and screws over the Eagles at the same time.
Damn.
It's Carson Wentz curse.
Yeah, I had a buddy who's a Colts fan, and right off the bat, man, it seems like this whole Wentz to Indianapolis just had bad news written all over it.
But what if Foles saves the day?
Yeah.
And it is bad news.
How would you feel if you were Carson Wentz and you're like, man, I just can't get this guy off my back? I just go down and then he just comes in and saves the day. Or you think he's like, thanks, man. Thank you.
That's hard. That's a difficult, because then you got to ask yourself, let's go down hypothetical road. Hypothetical road is the Colts slow play this until the third preseason game. And you got to remember, Foles knows Frank Wright's offense. They did it in Philadelphia. He knows the offense. And so what I'm thinking is they slow roll this to the third, which is the last preseason game. If they're talking about Wentz is out he's not going to be back till October. If that's what they tell Frank, the GM's on the phone with Chicago, and they send over whatever they got to send over for Foles. And they get Foles in. And if Foles takes them to the promised land, what do you do with Wentz?
Again.
Do you get rid of him? Do you make Foles the backup? Is Wentz the backup? What goes on?
What would you do?
And Foles is there, and we're winning with Foles, and we get into the playoffs and we go to the Super Bowl. That's a long shot, but
yeah,
you got to stick with Foles. But I know Foles' history. He's a roller coaster. He's up and down, just like Fitzpatrick. But if you need Foles to win you like 4 games in a row, he can do that. He can get you there. But it's like if you needed him to run a season, that's bad news bears. Literally, pun intended.
Yeah. So
for me, I would go with Foles, but what do we know about Jacob Eason? Jacob Eason is the number 1 guy right now. 4th round pick out of I believe UCLA. So if Eason could come out and produce, let's say he can get them 5 wins out of the 10 to 12 they miss. So they're 500 when Wentz comes back. Remember, you got 7 more weeks. If you can get 6 more W's, because you got to remember, you got to take into consideration the bye. If he can get you 11-6, 10-7, if he can get you there, you got a shot at the playoffs. So that's the thing is like, can Jacob Eason get us 5 or 6 wins? I think that's what people are thinking about in Indianapolis right now in the front office. If he can he get us 5 or 6 with that defense, running the ball, the weapons on the outside, T.Y., Michael Pittman Jr. What can they get us there? That's the question. And they got to lean on the defense. Because if Eason only has to score 17, 20 points a game, that's doable for a rookie. I think that's doable. And let that defense take the ball away and you just pound the rock. I think it's doable. So Colts fans, I wouldn't freak out too much, but if Nick Foles comes over, if Nick Foles comes, dude, it is drama city. Drama city for those two. I don't know how they're gonna coexist because they're like, they're very devout Christians. They're outdoorsy guys. They believe in meritocracy. They're a team guy. But look, Carson. Nick Foles' statue is in front of Philadelphia Lincoln Financial Field, not yours. Are they going to put another statue of Nick Foles in front of Lucas Oil? After they spent all this money they incurred your big ass contract, Carson. It's nuts. It's a crazy time. It's a crazy thing to think about. But we won't know. I think we won't know anything until probably the end of August. Probably in 3 weeks. We'll probably know something. What's going to happen with Foles? If not, he's just going to stay there behind Andy Dalton. And whoever thinks Andy Dalton's starting week 1, you're smoking crack. It's Justin Fields. Okay, Justin Fields throwing dimes in practice. And for San Francisco, Trey Lance just did a rollout, dropped a 50-yard dime, going against the number 1 defense in San Francisco. Yeah. Good luck, Garoppolo. You couldn't even do that in that Super Bowl to beat the Chiefs when you overthrew. I don't know who he overthrew.
So if you think Dalton's starting in Chicago, you're hanging out with De La Hoya? Is that what you're saying?
Say that again?
If you think Andy Dalton's going to be the starter in Chicago, and then you're hanging out with Oscar De La Hoya, is that what you're telling me?
I don't think you're in that same tax bracket as De La Hoya, but you're definitely going down that road without a doubt. Okay, guys, it's 52 minutes after the hour. Let's get to a quick 6-minute break. When we come back, we'll tie it up. This is probably going to be our last show for the week. I want to enjoy the Hall of Fame game. I kind of just made that decision now. Producer James is looking at me sideways. And
literally.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, is I want to get our UFC picks. So, we can close the show up that way because I want to enjoy the Hall of Fame game. I'm going to put it out there just to be real. And then we'll come back Monday, review, talk about who won. And if Cyril Gahn wins that title, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to literally take my pants off because my balls are going to be hot. All right, let's get a break. When we come back, we'll wrap up with UFC. And then, guys, it's football season. It is football season. Hey, 24 days until college football and high school football. No, just high school because they start that Thursday. It's back. I'm excited. All right, we're back. I'm trying to get it to make. Hold on. Maybe it was just. Welcome back, everybody. It is the Paul Rodriguez Show coming out of Studio 44. Quick shout out to Lion Pride Sports Broadcast. They will be having their annual kickoff show from Kreitz Market with their title sponsor, Recon Athlete. We will be there this Saturday, 11:30 a.m. Go get you some barbecue, sit down for a nice show. They're going to be celebrating the Lockhart community as well as the Lockhart student athletics. So it'll be a fun time for everybody to go out there. Get them some great barbecue, world famous since 1900 at a Kreitz Market. Shout out to Keith and the boys out there. It's going to be fun, guys. I think it's going to be a good time. Get to see some great athletes. I hope to see Coach Mabus out there, a few stars also as well. And I'll be there. I think you'll be there. And it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. So if you don't have anything to do Saturday, drive into town, get you some good barbecue, and we'll see you out there, shake hands, say hello, take pictures. You know, I think it'll be a good time. We did a show like that a couple of years ago before we knew of COVID, and it was a good turnout. We had a decent turnout. So I'm thinking there's going to be a lot more people as well. He's got a lot of followers. Celebrate the kids, the cheerleaders, the band, the drill team, the cheerleaders, you know, the coaches and their families. They do a lot of sacrificing, so be fun to celebrate them as we get the kickoff for the 2021 football season. So, again, Saturday, Kreitz Market, 11 a.m. That's when we'll be going down. Probably be smart to get there about 10:30, 10:45. That line's going to form quick, and you don't want to miss out on any barbecue. You don't want to sell out. They're going to sell out.
Or stand in line for an hour.
Yeah, I'm gonna have somebody else stand in line for me. Be like, hey, James, got that package ready for me? Got that thing ready? All right, let's get into the UFC 265 this weekend, headlining Derek the Black Beast Lewis versus Cyril Gane for the interim heavyweight championship of the world. And then I think the co-main is Jose Aldo versus, how do you say? I can't read that guy's name.
Pedro Munoz.
Munoz, yeah. I did see that Vicente Luque is fighting on that card too.
Who's fighting Michael Chiesa.
Okay. Yeah. Is that going to be a 35? I mean, a 55?
Welterweight, 185? No. 170.
170. 70. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Michael Chiesa is pretty good. I like watching him fight.
I think that I like Vicente Luque also. Yeah. Like, I think that's going to be those three fights are going to be fun. Who else do we have on the card? Who are the first two fights on the main card?
This one dude, Song Yadong. You remember this?
Yeah. Yeah. Is he Chinese or Korean?
I want to say he's Korean.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to say he's Korean. I'll look it up real quick.
Song Yadong.
Yeah, I remember he was on one of the previous cards. Looks like he's Chinese.
Chinese, yeah. He's that dude that got murked.
Yeah.
Who beat him? Phillips?
This dude, yeah, Kyler Phillips.
Yeah. I was like, I remember him getting murked. And who else is after that or before that?
Tisha Torres versus Angela Hill.
Angela Hill sounds familiar. She's a name, right?
Yeah. She's got that fro.
Yeah, but she's a killer out here.
Yeah, she's pretty good. I think she lost her last fight actually. But yeah, Tisha Torres is always pretty good.
That has to be like a big striking matchup for those two women, right?
For sure, yeah. Okay, so she won her last one.
Yeah, that's what I remember her winning.
Yeah. Yeah, she's pretty entertaining. That should be a good one. You know, the chicks always go at it.
Yeah, the women love to get after it. Yeah. So we got some good matchups there. I think the first fight, I don't really know those two fighters as much, but I do know the women's matchup, and then of course Luque is going to be fun. So for me, I like Hill, I like Luque, I like Munoz. He's the young guy. He's the young guy coming up. I watched the embed yesterday. Maybe my standards are too high, but I thought the embed was lacking. I thought it was a little.
First Hard Knocks now.
It didn't pop for me, bro. It didn't pop. It didn't have me engaged. I sent you something today. Jorge Masvidal was doing a tequila signing.
Yeah.
Looked like a Costco. Maybe some kind of warehouse store. And this regular Joe comes up and does his best Michael Buffer and just absolutely nailed it.
Bruce Buffer.
Bruce, excuse me. Bruce, I apologize. Your half brother wouldn't be that offended, I promise you. Anyways, but Bruce, he did a fantastic job. What did you think about it?
Yeah, sounded just like the guy.
It was close. It was definitely close. But I think the guy kind of had his own little spin on it. And dude, apparently George was he was impressed with it. I think he said, like, give me a box. He wanted to give the guy a box of tequila, which I thought was pretty badass. I mean, the dude earned it. He needs to be on let's put it this way. The guy who's doing the announcing at what is his name? He's a tall Hispanic dude. He does the Apex Center or the Apex Arena.
Oh, I don't know his name.
Yeah, that dude's, we need to get this guy in there. This dude is a lot more entertaining than that guy. Whoever the hell he is.
Stuff like that, man, that goes viral. Dude, you never know. That could land him like an opportunity.
Hell yeah.
Doing something.
Who's doing Bellator?
Yeah. Oh, I think it's
is it Jimmy Lennon?
Jimmy Lennon.
Oh, no, Jimmy. I like Jimmy.
Yeah, I like him.
So maybe it's an international platform, but yeah, if he can put his own little spin on it with that kind of energy and delivery in the middle of nowhere too, like just randomly in public, lots of pressure. So
you think he walks around all day at home doing that shit?
I bet he's practiced a lot. Doing that impression. But yeah, man, if he can put his own little spin on it, like by all means, suit him up, put him in a nice arena and let him go to town.
Yeah.
I think it would be badass. But George was definitely a fan. I thought that was pretty cool. But like I said, my picks, it's going to be Hill, it's going to be Luque, it's going to be Munoz, and I'm taking Derek Lewis. Only the reason why is because I was going to take Lewis either way, just to be honest. But I did see a story on Instagram, and it was like a tweet, and it had like punching ability, Cyril. It had like a matchup. So it was like punching ability, Cyril gone. Athleticism, Cyril gone. Endurance, Cyril gone. Takedown, Cyril gone. And then at the bottom it says, because Cyril Gane is so dominant, I'm taking Lewis by knockout in the third round. So he was basically saying, Cyril Gane is a great athlete, but I'm still taking the knockout power of Derek Lewis, which that's what I'm going to do as well. But I think Derek's a lot more in shape. I think his cardio is good. I've seen they did a little bit they followed him on his training on the embed. Dude's running wind sprints in the Texas heat, combined with the humidity of Houston, Texas. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. And you got to remember too, like Cyril Gane has to be accustomed to the humidity. A lot of people coming from overseas are not accustomed to the humidity. But I can see France being a humid nation, being close to the water. But with Houston, I think it's just a little different.
Yeah. So I'm gonna run with the whole left side. I'm gonna Song Yadong. Sounds good. Tisha Torres, Michael Chiesa, Jose Aldo, and Derek Lewis as well.
You're gonna take Derek Lewis.
I'm gonna take Lewis
after all this.
Hey man, I keep it honest.
I guess
keep it honest.
But why do you like Lewis?
Because I want to see him fight Francis again.
Yeah, but think about the athletic matchup it would be between Francis and Cyril Gane.
They're gonna be around. Not that Derek Lewis isn't, but
they're gonna what?
They'll be around. They'll eventually meet.
Okay.
If Cyril Gane's for real, he'll hang around. He'll linger at the top of the division because the heavyweight division isn't really too deep.
No.
So I feel like they'll fight eventually.
I'm trying to think. I'm thinking about like future matchups, like what Dana had. Apparently Dana has matchups like they have fights done through December. He let that slip whenever he was on McAfee's show today. I was like, dude, you have fights done through December. So I'm sure they'll have to be flexible, like because of maybe COVID, but to have that pretty much a year already completed, halfway through the year, a little over halfway through the year. I mean, that's pretty impressive to me, especially being 4 months out. I don't know. Anybody, why the Jose Aldo? Is it just because he's on a revenge tour? What do you think?
Yeah, I like Jose. I might be lying to myself.
A little partial?
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, I like Jose.
And what is it with Tisha Tate? You just think she's just better?
Tisha Torres.
Torres.
Yeah, I think she's gonna get her. I've seen a couple of her fights. So.
What are you looking at?
I'm trying to find this tweet that. So I saw that Connor had tweeted. This was yesterday. And he just said, guys, the September date is too early for me. I'm still in recovery. My doc's physical therapy team out here advised me to stay. I reckon late October at earliest, but maybe November, December too. It is hard to say at this time a concrete date, but I'm in. Wait for me, please.
What the hell is he talking about?
With the little boxing glove.
What the hell is he talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I was...
You're talking about October, November until you can walk without a cast or a brace?
He put a little boxing glove.
Yeah, dude, you're not doing anything until
Let me see
the new year. Like there's just nothing.
Let me see if I can get.
Dana already said he's out for a year. Period. At UFC apparently.
Yeah.
He's not getting in the ring. He's not boxing.
Yeah. You know him. Well, this is the guy that was still talking shit. While
I thought you were going to talk about something else that he did recently.
Is that some news you have, or?
Yeah, apparently he was attending Justin Bieber's concert.
Oh, okay.
Celebrating and dancing in a chair, with his left leg propped up, wearing Gucci Hawaiian shirts. It's like, dude, why are you out? That's what I don't understand. Like, what? You have a bum leg and you're out.
He'd probably say, "Why the fuck not?"
Yeah, great. Why be more of a distraction for yourself? Like, why are you putting yourself in a compromising situation? That's what I just don't understand. It's like, I get it. You're doing photo shoots with a bum leg. You're doing workout promos with a bum leg. Why are you out in a bum leg? Like, you have nothing to prove. You have hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank. What is the fixation with being in public? Have you become that narcissistic that you must be relevant in the celebrity circles? Is that what it is? If it is, your career is over. If that's where it is, if that's where your mind is, you are done, sir. If you're behaving that way, if your ego is that high, there is no point for you to compete in the UFC anymore. You made your money, hats off. You're turning into YouTubers. You're turning into Jake Paul and Logan Paul. That's what he's turning into.
So you're telling me they might fight down the road?
If all you want is clout, go ahead. Because that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, he has been on Twitter a lot. A whole lot.
What
is there to do when you're just sitting there with your leg propped up?
I don't know. Maybe spend time with your children. Maybe make plans to marry the children, your mother, the mother of your children. Maybe visit with your family. Maybe focus on maybe a spiritual advisor. Maybe start appreciating the little things that you're probably going to miss out on and kick yourself for when you're 50. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't know. And those are things that I think he's missing. Why the hell are you going to a Justin Bieber concert when you have 3 children at home you could be hanging out with? It doesn't make any sense to me. Now, if you want to go with your wife, and I don't know if his wife was there or not, you definitely don't. Your daughter's not old enough to go to a Justin Bieber concert. Why the hell are you there with all these preteen girls and probably some cougars in there who are, want to watch Justin? Conor McGregor didn't fit. Doesn't fit to me. I don't know about you, but he doesn't fit. If he's going to fights, if he's going to football games, yeah, I get it. Like when he did his little tour to Dallas and a couple other stadiums, yeah, I get it. I understand that. But Justin Bieber concert, clout. That's all I see. You got a bum leg. It's almost as he's trying to do a PR campaign to like put himself back in the good graces of the fans. Maybe he pissed off. Okay, fine. But I bet pictures of you with your family, I bet pictures of you with the mother of your children, with your parents, with your family at home would be a lot more appealing than being at a damn Justin Bieber concert. But who the fuck am I? Just a small mic. Just a small mic. I don't got anything else to say. It's just fucking stupid. I saw that and I was like, this is fucking dumb. You were talking all that mad shit about Floyd wearing a backpack when you're 40. Motherfucker, you're 33 or 4 at a Justin Bieber concert with 3 kids. What the fuck are you doing there? God damn. Why am I pissed off the last 2 days? The end of the show so angrily. Just so angry.
What's wrong, man? You all right?
Got this goddamn angst or something. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. What are you doing to me, James? Putting some like voodoo on me?
Hey, man. Just a producer.
Just right. Just
small mouse.
Small mouse.
Small mouse, man.
Hey, man, you found anything new to watch since you've been finished with Loki and everything?
Nah, I haven't really watched anything.
Did you ever watch Space Jam?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I thought you said you were going to make time.
I was gonna, but yeah, never did, man.
No?
Mm-mm.
I hear it's not worth it.
That's what I heard as well.
Yeah.
So
I bet if you're a kid, maybe if you're Conor McGregor, maybe it's worth watching. I mean, I don't know.
You might be in part 3.
Part 3? There's no part 3. There's only one.
Well, I consider,
you hating on LeBron?
No, like
you saying LeBron was in Space Jam too?
Yeah.
That is called Space Jam.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I consider it.
So you're saying, okay, I see what you're saying, but
because I heard there was callbacks to the original one in there in Space Jam
so?
2. I don't know about Michael Jordan and stuff like that.
Like, is Michael in it?
No.
Okay.
Well, not that Michael Jordan.
What do you mean?
Michael B. Jordan.
What's Killmonger got to do with this one?
Apparently, there's a scene, and of course, I haven't seen it, so this is just what I was told. There's a scene where
allegedly,
where they bring in Michael B. Jordan, and they're like, "That's the wrong Michael Jordan. We didn't say Michael B. Jordan." And then one of them makes a joke, something about, "Well, who's Michael A. Jordan?" You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah.
I wonder if they asked Mike to be in it. You think they did?
Maybe make a little cameo.
Yeah, I could see them playing like a replay of that first Space Jam, like in a scene on a TV in the background, like just as a tip of the hat. I could see them doing that. Maybe cut Michael like $100,000 check, which drop in the bucket for him. But I could see them doing something like that. But maybe it didn't make the cut, or maybe they didn't think about it, or I don't know.
Yeah, maybe LeBron didn't want it.
Maybe LeBron doesn't deserve to be in Michael's presence. How about that?
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know anything about basketball. All I know is that my Houston Rockets won in 94 and 95, and I've been a Cowboy. It's like I've been a Cowboy fan and a Rocket fan for so long that I don't remember the championships. It's hard out there, man. It's hard. And I don't believe in, this year is it. We're going. I don't believe all that nonsense. I just can't do it. Anything else before we go?
No. Check us out, Dark Side of the Mic tomorrow, 7 o'clock.
Wow, that promo was weak, man. You got to tell these people what are y'all getting into,
dude? I don't even know.
What do you mean you don't know? I sent you something today.
Well, I'll put together the weekly roundup.
Oh Lord!
Tune in tomorrow, 7 o'clock.
You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it while you're working, mentally, build it in your brain. It's like, we can talk about that. Yeah. Or you're gonna hit Twitter like right before.
Nah, that never works.
6:30.
That never works.
It doesn't work. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all watching tonight. If you enjoy the show, like, subscribe, and we will be back Monday. I may go live on Instagram, so go over to Instagram. Just search Paul Rodriguez Show. I might go live to do a watch along on Instagram. Maybe. We'll see. Until then, we'll see you Monday.